Hello, and congratulations. I'm deeply honored to be honored by an institution for which I have so much respect and a great deal of fondness in addition. I'm seizing this opportunity to say a few words about the arts in school. If you were to read the Arts in School Annual Report issued by the Department of Education, or the blueprint, what they call the blueprint for approaches to teaching and evaluation in each of the arts, music, visual arts, dance, and theater, I believe you would be positively impressed. Here and in other publications of the Department of Education, a sense of commitment to arts education and to making opportunities available for all students is clearly articulated. The problem, and there is a problem, is that reality does not reflect the rhetoric. What is the reality? Examining the pattern of arts education in the schools over the past few years, we find that hours in the school week devoted to arts have diminished significantly across the system. 2, there are fewer certified arts teachers now in the schools. And 3, in some schools, those that need it most, art classes have been drastically reduced and in some cases eliminated. What lies behind the diminution of resources devoted to arts education in the schools? It is the intertwined factors. There's somebody joining. You see that kid is applauding. It is the intertwined factors of budget cuts and priorities. Because teachers and schools are evaluated, as you know, on the basis of how their students perform on the New York State tests in math, science, and language arts, preparation for these tests is at the top of the teacher's must-do list. Test prep takes a great deal of time and effort. It cuts into the regular curriculum, as I'm sure you've heard from many people. As yet, there are no tests for the arts, perhaps because they are not considered as important as math, science, and language arts, or because performance in the arts cannot be readily quantified. I am not suggesting that quantifiable tests for the arts should be introduced. Quite the opposite. In fact, I and many other educators argue for eliminating the high-stakes testing imposed by no child. Imposed by No Child Left Behind and more recently Race to the Top. So what is important about the arts? A common response is that experience in one or another art form improves some aspect of academic performance. While this may be persuasive to some, and a helpful strategy, it fails to consider what the arts, in their unique properties and as a whole, contribute to children's experience and the kinds of learning not measured on the tests. It must be recognized that a significant proportion of New York City children have little exposure to the arts in their homes. School art programs can do a great deal to compensate for this. Further, children who are not doing well in math or literacy often gain ability and a sense of accomplishment in one or more art forms. In all but the most conservative art programs, the child is active rather than passive, the actor rather than the recipient. She has the chance to explore possibilities, sometimes within a structure, as playing an instrument in the school band, sometimes with greater degrees of freedom, depending on the classroom, the situation, the teacher. Each of the arts provides unique opportunities for meaningful learning, and I would underline meaningful, as well as the expression of individuality within the school context. Another point, rarely mentioned even by supporters of arts programs and advocates, is that children tend to find arts activities enjoyable, a part of the school day to which they look forward. And this has many ramifications, as you can imagine or spell out for yourselves. I recently visited a Manhattan public school with a generally underserved population and a principal who's dedicated to having rich arts programs. I sat in on a 6th grade art class led by an experienced art teacher. At my request, she asked the class of 6th graders whether they thought the arts important. Eager hands waved in the air. Very few of the responses verbatim. Arts are not very useful. Other subjects like math and science can help you get a job. Another child, drawing and stuff helps me. I'm a visual learner. Third, art is good. You can express your feelings. Keep in mind, these are 6th graders. And finally, it's liberating from all the other stuff we have to do. What is to be done? Clearly, there's no quick solution. But if parents and educators at all levels join with the numerous advocacy groups to persuade the establishment that overemphasis on testing is eroding children's education and that the arts are an essential part of a good education, there is hope. Bank Street has often fought the good fight. May you go on. Thank you.